everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel. My name's Paulina. I am working on getting a mic. I kind of have ADD, or I do have ADD, so I haven't been like so much on my to-do list in terms of sort of extemporaneous things. I think that's a word. You know, things that I don't really need. So I'm gonna get that, but I'm just speaking a little loudly so that I can be heard, because it's less close up than my usual reading. Yeah, I just woke up and felt like doing a reading like immediately this morning, and I like to go with that impulse. There's a lot of times when I don't feel like doing a reading, and it's like I'm pushing myself, but I do have the commitment to try to do a reading every day right now, even if it's just 2 minutes, as sort of like a routine, creative routine for myself, because I get a reading too out of this. Because believe it or not, I'm channeling in my experience, and a lot of the times I have no idea what I'm gonna say, and the things I say surprise me, and the cards, of course I can't plan how they come out, so it's all just kind of in the moment. Okay, I'm gonna do a Celtic Cross here. I may include a picture of it, but it's basically a cross shape with another side of cards and then an indicator card. So, okay, and I read the cross sometimes as the body and the side cards as like the experience, but I'll talk about that a little bit. So the current state is the magician. You may feel like you're doing things that are like you're having to use all of your skills and you're manifesting, but also you may be in a position where you're like thinking about deception and trickery, or you feel that someone's deceiving you. Okay, we got 10 of Pentacles is what's crossing you. So that means that this experience of having family live together harmoniously with finances. This could just be you and your dog. Small family, but you know, like we all deserve to have abundance. I'm getting something here in the reading so far about creating this. What's crossing you is creating this manifesting of probably more abundance than you've ever experienced. And it may be scary, but I see that for you. The distant past is the Hanged Man. So, or also the root of the situation. You may have been put in a situation where you're in suspension. Okay, but you're also able to see from different perspectives. Sorry about the clutter. It's just some dog bed stuff. Dog foot. Recent past is 7 of Pentacles reversed. So, you felt like you put an investment into something, and you know, maybe you're not growing a financial garden right now. Like you're like, why am I not as abundant as I thought I would be by now? Because maybe it was like an investment, like a literal one, or you know, maybe a business that is like sort of having some issues. Future is the Hierophant. This is about a lot of things, but in this reading I see it as being like sovereign within your role in society, and maybe marriage, and also perhaps giving into higher wisdom, like higher thought, because this can represent the church. And not that everyone has to go to church, I don't like going to church, but in this reading I want to read it as there's like a higher wisdom that's guiding you in your life that I think has to do with the 5 here. Just, of course, change and maybe duality, since it's related to Mercury. So the current state is 6 of Swords. So you're moving away from a situation that was conflict-oriented, which, you know, the 5 of Swords comes before the 6. Obviously, the 5 is about a defeat. Okay, so strength is the environment. You're in an environment where you're being called to be really strong right now. You're kind of pulling apart the laws of the jaws of the lion in your life in some senses to see what's there for you. Okay. Okay, and then in the inner thoughts and fears, we have King of Wands. I think there may be a man in your thoughts who is intense, or maybe has anger issues, or maybe is just like very handsome, or like he definitely exudes an energy of intensity, and that can be like sexual intensity as well. So that's on your thoughts and minds, that in your thoughts and in your mind. If it's not a man, it could be a woman that has an intense presence, you know, but it's, I see it as some specific person that you're thinking about that's affecting you, that has an intense energy, that it's not bad, but it's like a fire, and you're like contending with it, and seeing them in this energy is like, and seeing yourself in this energy is breaking a lot of illusions, you know, sort of like seeing through illusions, this card. And maybe you feel like you don't have choices also with that card. The overall card is Queen of Cups reversed. This situation is bringing you some depression, just like some mild depression is what I'm hearing, because I feel like with the Hierophant, you feel like you feel as though there's commitment to life that you're ready to bring, okay, to these serious matters, that, you know, there's no place for it though. Like, I feel that you're like a very real and intense person, and you're ready to like invest in something here. But yeah, the Fool reversed. I feel like you've had some moments in the past 2 years, which is a time period that keeps coming up in my readings, where you felt like maybe pushed off a cliff, like in a negative way, like you had to just go out and be open to the world, and you were sort of pushed to do that, you know. You had to have beginner's mind, but you were put into that without your consent in a way. We also got, this is like, before in your life you were like seeing what cups were being offered, and you were like, I don't want that. And now you're realizing that's not a good stance, you know. There's a saying, like, if God sends you a boat, you get in it. If he sends a raft, you get in it. I think it's related to this. I think it's an old Jewish joke where it's like my step-grandpa was Jewish, so he told a lot of jokes. Sort of like, you know, like, there's gonna be like, it was sort of like, God, there's this man who's like stranded, and he's like, this like raft goes by, a canoe goes by, and all these different things go by, and he's like, God, why didn't you save me? And he's like, I sent you all these different possibilities and you didn't. And he was like, oh, I was waiting for like, I don't know, like an ocean liner, like, or like a real, like a tugboat or something. He's like, okay, well, those were the things. So there may be something being offered right now that you're like, hey, that's looking pretty good right now. Before I was like, no, I don't want that. But now you're like, yeah, this could bring some abundance and freedom and energy and creativity. This thing that you were not looking upon before. I want to know how it's linked to this man or woman that has an intense, fiery energy. Maybe they're the person that you were thinking of, like not wanting, and now you do in some way, or not. So this relationship has caused both people to, one person's really in their logic and in maybe even lawful thinking, or like you know, like what's legal, and like one person's like sort of in there just like intense verbiage that's like, I want to say again, linked to Kali energy. I said that the other day. Like, Kali is a divine female warrior in Hinduism who has like a necklace of heads, which I feel like I'm going to talk about here. I'm going to pause here. That's an interesting inversion of the Bluebeard myth, which is just like an old myth. I think it's French. And it's about like this man who goes on a trip and tells his wife, oh, you can have friends over and stuff while I'm gone, but like, don't go in the basement. Don't ever go in the basement. And they're like newlyweds, so she's like, what's in the basement? And of course she and her sister go in the basement, and they see all the heads of the women that were his ex-wives that he killed. It's pretty grim, but like, I think it's meant to say like, you know, just, we don't really know. The subconscious holds the key to a lot, and until we get to someone's subconscious layer, we may not know. But I feel like the Kali was a funny, interesting inversion of that, because she's just wearing a bunch of little male heads. But Kali is destruction rather than Shiva. Shiva is like destruction that causes regeneration, and sort of like that cycle, and is a man and does a dance. And Kali, I believe, is just like a warrior that sort of annihilates, okay, which is different than rebirth, because there may be things in your life here that you're using your strong energy of speech to be like, but also it's an intuitive energy, since it's queen, not the king. It's coming from an internal knowledge here, okay, intuitive, but it's very like, this is what it is, this is what I need, this is what I want. Like, it's someone who does not mince words, someone who does not shoot the shit. It's like, no, this is the thing and this is what it is, and we have to do it this way, okay? And it is influenced by maybe another need to be in control of life in a logical way. I feel that those cards, the opposite of them would be like some reversed cups cards. So like, I feel like maybe you're coming from, you're all in your thoughts and in your logic because you're coming from some negative emotional experience. Okay, and the Two of Cups. Yeah, I think there is capacity here with this intense figure that you were talking about. That is like, you know, not, you know, they're intense, and it is a reflection of your own intensity as well. I think that that actually isn't the focus, though. This relationship here, I want to bring it back to the relationship with yourself again in the divine, which I tend to do. But yes, this, whatever this intense person is affecting you. Spirit is showing, I'm going to get some channeling now and some confirmations. Spirit's telling me that this situation is really just about a divinely orchestrated relationship where both people are meant to learn and grow from each other, which is all relationships, even the person that you meet on the bus stop, at the bus stop. This person may have said the wrong thing sometimes or messed up their words, and you took that personally, but I don't think this person, I think this person gets very overwhelmed and dysregulated. And this person has experienced a loss of innocence and a block in their emotions that actually has to do with, these cards were around this, with you and your abundance, if you're a man or a woman. Your creativity has affected this person, and in some intense way. I don't know what your creative work is. Also, just your energy of like abundance has affected this person, and they're thinking about things from their past that were difficult and what their emotional blocks are, like, you know. But so here's some confirmations. Numbers important for this week: 62377. A large number that I will channel is 77921. Okay, 77921. I'll just do what the so that is about allowing for mystery. With 7 is Neptune, 9 is humanitarianism and selfhood, 2 is partnership, and 1 again is selfhood and or a new start, being alone. I feel like a lot of this reading is about allowing for the mystery to take place, because the Hierophant card that we got as the future could be related as like God's higher hand taking a place in your life, taking a role. And it may be a good time, Spirit's saying, to look at other times when there was like a Deus Ex Machina where you were like, I don't know how to get out of this, and somehow you did, or somehow over time you saw a plan. Because I'm getting an energy of someone who's like, I don't know, like when I look at your auric field, I drop in as astral project here, to astral project, you don't like know the path, you don't know the route, but you're not seeing that you're on the path. you're on the route, and you are just the Hierophant can also be a divine healer. Okay, so you are a divine healer, and that's what you are walking towards in your life. And this relationship with this person, this is just actually making you question your own relationship and your own intensity with yourself and with life, and realizing that sometimes people, their intensity, it's not personal, it's how they are. Especially with that Kali energy, I feel that this person and or you, I mean, this is a reflection of you. If you're having someone engage with you this way, it's a reflection of you and your energy. And you might not want to hear that, but I'm obsessed with Adler, and he says whatever feeling that the stimulus brings upon within us is already within us. So if you're feeling rage at someone, guess what? That rage was already there. They're just letting you feel it. They're just allowing you to express it. But I think this person had some energy like that here. And I think this person is in a Kali situation in their life where they're really like ending a lot of things, and you are in that mix, and it's not so much about you. And I want one final card from Spirit, and then I'm going to channel just some names, locations, colors, and other things. Okay, the closing message is, this is communication, and this is about sort of not being able to travel, not being able to come to actualize in the world. So yeah, I think you have to communicate. I think communication, actually, swift communication will be how you actualize in this world, and I don't know what that means, but spirit knows. I'm going to spread the cards and just do one last final card. Sorry, I know I keep saying that. This can be about disunion, or just like a breaking and ending of a marriage specifically. Yeah, that may be happening externally. Someone or you may be ending a marriage or relationship, but you know, there's the marriage with ourselves and with God, which you might not want to hear that if you're in a deep place of isolation and pain. That you are not alone. There's many spirit guides watching you. There's your spirit guides. There's energy of just other guides that are hopping on the energy to expand. There's your ancestors, there's God, there's Jesus, whether or not you believe in him. There's Mary, I believe in the prophets and the saints. There's Muhammad, there's Buddha, there's Kali, Krishna, Hanuman. Those are some Hindu gods. So those are some energies I'm being called to express that are with you. Also, Saint Germaine is coming up. That's very specific. So that's direct channeling. Saint Germaine, I believe, is a healer, and also the angel Uriel, which is actually, I think, about creativity. Okay, so Angel Uriel and Saint Germaine are coming up, and they haven't come up in any of my readings, so that's very specific. And I feel that means like a shift in energy here, where you're going to do some alchemical work with creativity in your life. I'm done with the cards. So in terms of colors, I'm getting a deep ocean blue immediately, like dark blue, which just makes me think of the deep ocean, and how there's animals that we don't even know exist down there. I think that you're in a place like that where you're discovering, excavating, researching yourself and your life. I'm also seeing, for animals, a tiger specifically that came really quickly. Yeah, and I'm thinking that, linking that to the William Blake poem, Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright, I believe it says, in the forest of the night. And the rest of it's really lovely, but I don't think I remember. Just the intro. Yeah, that's just really random, but I loved poetry as a kid, and when I was 10, I named my journal Tiger after that poem. It's a really weird kid, okay? And I loved writing, and so Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright, I loved William Blake, and I just named my journal Tiger. Okay, that incident feels funny. I'm just following intuition here with what comes up. That feels specific. I feel like you're going to something that's felt scary, like a tiger laying in wait in your life in the forest. You're going to reclaim that as like a pet name. You're going to reclaim that, just as I was like, I'm going to make that the name of my journal. Like, I'm going to make a scary beast the name of my journal. You're going to like rebrand something in your life that has been dark and scary as like just sort of like, oh, that happened. Okay, I'm just gonna like name my journal after it or whatever, or like name my new dog after someone in this experience. Like, it becomes something trivial. Okay, I know that sounds like a lot because what you're dealing with feels intense right now. It feels very scary and strong, but time's gonna go by and it is gonna feel trivial, and the things that are more immediate are gonna feel true. I'm also just thinking about the tiger stripes and like what that symbolizes, and just, I mean, really it's evolutionarily to blend in with the foliage, and not be seen as a predator, which in some environments might work, like in the Amazon, or I mean, there's no really tigers there, or you know, wherever tigers are. There's a variation of foliage of different colors. It's not just all one color, so there is a more possibility to blend in if they're hiding in brush. So you may have felt also like you're laying in wait for something or someone, and I want you to let go of that energy, because like it's just like it's a defensive posture, and it's like, ugh, it's just like really yucky, and you don't need to think that way because spirit's got you. Spirit's got your back. And yeah, I'm just being called to recommend the book by Gabby Bernstein, who's been coming through in my readings lately. Hey, Gabby Bernstein. Like, the universe has got your back, which is just about like self-trust and trust that good things are happening to you. Love you so much. Thanks so much for tuning in. A couple of locations I'm getting specifically are New Mexico, Arizona, Great Lakes, Chicago, Southern California, Northeast, all of the Northeast, New England, and I'm getting some viewers specifically who have Asian heritage, which I think is new for this channel. This will be happening in the next year, these viewers who watch this episode. So thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much, and I hope you have a great day.